One of the perks of being an international student in Canada is being able to work during our studies. In fact, we're allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week off campus and work more hours on campus and during scheduled academic breaks. However, aside from studying in Canada and also dealing with the immigration side of things, the other bigger question I often get asked is how to actually find a job. With that said, I want to provide some insight to help you find a job during your studies. And guys, we could talk about my experiences all day long, which I have mentioned in some of my videos, but I feel that an expert in this field would be more helpful. And with that, let me introduce you to Shauna Cole.
Hi, I'm Shauna Cole. I'm a career educator and university instructor to international students, and I'm so pumped to share with you today my expertise when it comes to job search in Canada.
I will be asking Shauna a series of tough questions in relation to your job search so you don't have to. So without further ado, let's begin.
You should start looking for a job in Canada as soon as you have some sort of clarity about the position that you're actually targeting. The other thing that's really important about starting the search early is that finding a job can take a lot of time. Okay, but say you're an international student and you're looking for a part-time job. How far ahead of time should you actually start sending out resumes? 6 months is a really great rule of thumb. Sometimes the job search process can take a while, and often we're not successful on our first try. So you want to give yourself plenty of time to start sending out resumes, trial and error the process a little bit, and then ultimately get hired when you want to get hired. Peak times to start applying to jobs are really going to depend on the sector and the industry, but I can give you a few sort of hard and fast rules when it comes to job search in Canada. The summer months are generally pretty bad when it comes to job search. The reason for that, we don't get a lot of great weather here, so people are on vacation. Christmas time can be really, really challenging as well when it comes to finding an office job. Again, a lot of folks are on vacation, so it'd be common for decision makers to be out of the office. A little bit of a sort of exception to that rule, retail part-time opportunities are really ramped up. Stores are looking to hire extra people, restaurants are looking to hire extra people, all because things really ramp up in terms of busyness over the Christmas season. The most valuable thing you can do, and the single item that will produce the most results in your job search in Canada, is going to be networking. So in Canada, we have what is called a hidden job market. So this basically means there are a ton of positions that never actually even make it to those job boards. So instead of focusing all your time and effort on websites, you want to be focusing on building that professional network also. Okay, but reality check, we also are going to be applying to jobs online. Check out the big ones like Monster, Indeed. You want to check out the Canada Job Bank. There's going to be tons of part-time position, retail type jobs on that website as well. And one that's really not commonly known, which is pretty much specific to Atlantic Canada, is Career Beacon. So check that out also. But first, network. When it comes to job search, the place where you want to spend your time is LinkedIn, of course. The reason LinkedIn is so key to your job search is because it really doubles up as kind of an opportunity to search for jobs on an awesome job board where tons of roles are listed. And the second piece of it is you've got an opportunity to really enhance your personal brand and show off some of your work. So it is completely expected and a norm in Canada. If you're looking for professional work, you want to be on LinkedIn. On top of all of this, you're also going to get access to lots of great career content and advice. You can join groups related to your professional field. Even if you're not a professional in that field yet, you can get insights now as you're working through your education. Employers are looking for international students who are demonstrating an openness to learning. They're not looking for you to know everything about the role. What they are looking for is a candidate that demonstrates an openness and willingness rather to learn about the position and to build relationships with the team.
Now for my favorite segment, we're going to do overrated versus underrated. Now, what that means is I'll be giving Shauna keywords in relation to job searching for international students, and all she has to do is choose between overrated or underrated. So let's start.
Underrated. Foreign work experience is still valuable in Canada. Where I think most candidates struggle is making sense of how to communicate that in a way that the employer in Canada actually understands what that experience is. So if you've got foreign work experience, highlight that on your resume, but make sure that you're speaking in language and in terms on your resume that the Canadian employer understands. A great way to check on that is by asking someone in Canada if they understand the specific credential. Overrated. A career objective on your resume is completely overrated. You should not have a career objective on your resume that is completely dated. Instead, replace your career objective with a professional summary that explain your accomplishments and how they relate to the job. A great way to start to get inspired for this is to check out the job description that you're targeting. Cover letters are completely underrated. Most candidates do a terrible job at writing cover letters, and they often come across as totally generic. You have an opportunity to really connect with the employer and specifically connect your experience to the job that you're targeting on your cover letter. Spend some time there. Cover letters, totally underrated. They could be your secret weapon. References are completely overrated, and I think candidates stress over what to do about references a lot of the time. Don't include them with your initial application. You don't need to include a line that says references available upon request. You should actually just wait for the employer to ask you for your references and then provide them. Some employers don't even check references anymore. Tattoos are totally underrated. Okay, you probably are thinking, are they appropriate in the Canadian job market? Well, really, the only thing that an employer is going to care about is whether or not that tattoo is offensive. So if you have a tattoo that could be visible in an interview that has some sort of controversial view, political affiliation, or something that someone could just generally be offended by, I'd want to give some thought to how I might cover that up. But really, your rule of thumb is yes, tattoos are awesome and cool and completely accepted in the Canadian workplace, except for tattoos that could be seen as potentially offensive. You're also going to run into really traditional companies that might not be really into tattoos, but they're too stiff. You don't want to work for them anyways. Underrated. Speaking with an accent is awesome, and I can understand that job seekers with an accent might feel some anxiety over this. Honestly, the employer has a responsibility as well to work with you and to listen effectively to understand what you're saying. If you've got an accent that might be unique or an accent that they're really unfamiliar with, what you can control as a candidate, if you know you've got a heavy accent and you're feeling concerned that an employer might not fully be able to understand you, just slow down your pace of speaking, and even try checking in with that employer when you're talking. Good grades are overrated. I can't believe I'm saying that as a university instructor, but they are. And in my experience working in professional HR roles, it was pretty rare that a candidate was even asked for a transcript or to see their grades. There's going to be some exceptions to that, and sometimes you really need to have good grades to get into specific graduate schools as well. But in the Canadian job search, I think that grades and GPAs are completely overrated. Getting a master's degree is completely overrated if you're just doing it to get a master's degree. Getting a master's degree is totally the right choice if you've got some clear goals in mind. But I'd recommend taking a step back and asking yourself what it is you want to do with that degree. or what is motivating you to take it before you dive in and enroll in a master's program. They can be tons of work. They can be hugely valuable too, but give it some thought. It's not the right choice for everyone.
Okay, and with that concludes the video. Thank you so much, Shauna, for sharing your 2 cents on the job searching process for international students and for answering the tough questions that we were afraid to ask. I know that job searching can be tough, especially when you're trying to figure it out in a new country, but there are loads of helpful information online that can help you get started. For example, Shauna has her own YouTube channel where she does a deep dive on topics surrounding job searching for international students. So if you're looking for that type of information, be sure to check out her channel and even subscribe to keep up to date with all the new information that she has to share there. Thank you, Shauna, again for your time, and for everybody else that's watching. Be safe and be kind, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.